Grichuk in the air out into center. It's deep. Martin on the warning track. Let the celebration begin. The Chicago Cubs are NL Central champions once again, and they're going to party in St. Louis. We're back, and we will have Cubs baseball tonight as they welcome in their arch rivals, the St. Louis Cardinals, on a cold night here in Chicago. Cardinals and Cubs open a 2-game series. Great to have you with us for Cubs baseball tonight. It's cold, but it's dry. Jim Deshaies, Len Kasper, and we'll get right into the pitching matchup. Adam Wainwright, who's pitched here a lot, against Tyler Chatwood, who hasn't pitched in a week.
Such is the nature of early season baseball with the off days and the rainouts. It's been a long time for Chatwood. April 10th, as a matter of fact, his last start, 5 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs allowed against the Pirates. Ironically, in terms of control, much better in that start than his first one when he walked 6 but only allowed 1 run. Adam Wainwright, very comfortable here at Wrigley Field. He's made 18 starts. He's 10-2 lifetime in this ballpark with a 379.
Cubs' first action since the big comeback win on Saturday. The weather looks a little iffy tomorrow, but you just battle your way through it. And good news, Anthony Rizzo back in the lineup tonight, missing 8 games on the DL with the back issue. It's the Cubs hosting the Cardinals. Game 1 next on NBC Sports Chicago. Snow shortened 2-gamer this week before the Cubs hit the road again. Off to Colorado for the weekend, and 2 against the Cleveland Indians next week. Let's get into the Cardinals starting lineup that will face Tyler Chatwood tonight. Cardinals coming off a 4-game sweep over the Reds in Cincinnati over the weekend. The former Cub Dexter Fowler in the leadoff spot. That's usual, but not the fact that he's playing right. Tommy Pham is their new center fielder. Matt Carpenter, Marcell Ozuna, Jose Martinez off to a great start. Yadier Molina's got 5 homers already. Greg Garcia had a 2-homer game on Saturday. He's a third. Paul DeYoung, the shortstop, bats 8th, and Adam Wainwright can swing the bat. He'll be in the 9th spot.
Cubs defensively, Kyle Schwarber plays left field tonight. Ian Happ's in center, and Jason Hayward plays right. Ben Zobrist was initially in the starting lineup, but he was a late scratch with some back stiffness. Infield looks familiar now that Anthony Rizzo's back. He's at first, Baez second, Russell short. Chris Bryant is the third baseman. Wilson Contreras is behind the plate, and the Lexus Experience Amazing starting pitcher is Tyler Chatwood. 2 starts, 2 losses so far for Tyler, so 0-2 with a 4.91 ERA. He's only worked 11 innings so far.
Manny Gonzalez promoted to the full-time staff in 2013, the first full-time Major League umpire from Venezuela. The crew chief is Jeff Nelson, Laz Diaz at second, and Andy Fletcher's over at third. Wind is blowing in, but we've got clear skies above. Everybody bundled up and ready to go. Chatwood to Fowler, and Dexter takes a strike. His first at bat here last year as a Cardinal. He homered. The 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Slow start for Fowler. Had a really good year last year, but he did struggle from the leadoff spot and was great just about everywhere else.
Chatwood working quickly here. Guys behind him will appreciate that on a cold night. Getting colder as the sun goes down.
35 degrees as we start. Wind chill 29. Northeast wind at 10. Swing and a miss. He got him. Good start for Chatwood.
Opened up the toolkit there. Fastball, curveball, and now cutter to get the job done. Now the heater at 95. He'll sit comfortably right around 93. Cutter, curve, and a changeup.
A very good fastball hitter. Tommy Pham hitting .417 on fastballs, but he takes that one for a strike. Bust out year last year for Pham. 0-2. So the new Cardinal outfielder, Ozuna left, Pham center, Fowler in right. It dealt away Randall Grichuk and Stephen Piscotty over the winter. Pham has done a lot of damage on the road.
He and Martinez, interesting cases. Both guys that are kind of booming late.
Called strike 3.
Tyler Chatwood looks like a man on a mission here tonight. Everything is crisp. Lively heater at 96. This one runs back over the plate a little bit on him, but look at the life on that 2-seam fastball.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and here's Matt Carpenter. Cubs have always done a good job against Carpenter, a career .211 batter against Cubs pitching. And we remember all the struggles he had against his former college teammate Jake Arrieta.
He's got to be thrilled that Jake is out of the division.
Yeah.
Normally a real patient hitter, usually doesn't offer at that first pitch, likes to work counts. Had an off year last year, batted just .241, lifetime right around .280. And time called as Carpenter
Apparently has something in his eye. Hard to hit when you can't see.
Don't fall for it, Tyler. It's a deke.
Missed again. 2-1 the count. Chatwood, real good athlete, 6 feet, 185 pounds. A couple of guys on the mound to start tonight who can hit and who both field their position well. Carpenter thinking about a bunt against the drastic shift, and it's 3-1. Ozuna on deck.
This is just Tyler's second career start against St. Louis. Made a start against them back in September of 2013. So not much of a book for these Cardinal hitters against Chatwood. He has faced them 2 or 3 times in relief as well.
Now Ozuna, acquired from Miami over the offseason. After the Cardinals could not complete a deal for Giancarlo Stanton, who wouldn't waive his no-trade clause. Ozuna has 1 walk. That came on Saturday in his 66th plate appearance of the season.
So batting .288 with a .294 on base percentage.
Popped into right field. That's Hayward as he drifts over near the line, and Chatwood with a scoreless top of the first. The Cubs bats coming up against Adam Wainwright. Happened for Zobrist, as JD mentioned. Bryant, Rizzo, and Contreras. Schwarber, Baez, Russell in the middle. Jason Hayward is in right instead of center. And the pitcher Chatwood batting ninth.
Cardinals defensively are deployed thusly. Ozuna's in left, fan play center, Fowler right. Garcia gets a start at third base tonight. Paul DeYoung at short. Carpenter second. Jose Martinez the first sacker. Yadier Molina, 8-time Gold Glover, behind the plate.
Adam Wainwright's first pitch swung on and missed. The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. And if Ian Happ gets a hit here, Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Slow curve is popped foul off of third and out of play. Wainwright does not throw that hard anymore. Not a huge surprise for a guy in his mid-30s.
He's piled up a lot of innings over the years. Been in the big leagues for 12 seasons. There are his numbers. He's the Lexus Experience Amazing starting pitcher for Mike Matheny here tonight.
Swing and a miss. So 90, that's basically where he'll sit with his fastball. 36 years old. A lifelong Cardinal in terms of big league time, even though he was a first-round pick of the Braves back in 2000. Now Chris Bryant on the 3-year anniversary of his major league debut.
And with that face mask on, you might have said, well, how can you tell it's Chris? Well, look at the numbers. 352 batting average, 1,100 plus OPS. That sounds like Chris Bryant.
It does. Hitting .412 in a strange homestand. Cubs have gone 2-3. What will be a 7-game homestand. It started out as a 9-gamer. Swing and a miss. Way off the plate he went.
A drop down cut fastball there from Wainwright. So it's changing arm angles, a lot of spin. You're going to see a lot of breaking stuff from Wainwright. Sink the fastball as well as cut it. Does have a changeup, doesn't use it that much. There it was right there. Yep. The one thing you wonder about on a cold night like tonight, dexterity for the pitchers. Will they be able to have the feel to spin the breaking ball? And so far Chatwood and Wainwright have looked pretty good with their breaking pitches.
Rizzo on deck. The wind and the 2-2 pitch is outside.
It'll be worth keeping an eye on as this game goes on, as it gets colder and the longer they're exposed to the elements, if they start to lose feel.
Wainwright began the year on the DL with a strained left hamstring. He returned to start the Cardinals' 7th game of the season. And it was 3-2 to Bryant. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Number 44, first baseman, Anthony Rizzo.
Good to have Anthony back from the DL. Dealing with a back issue, and just as he returns, Ben Zobrist scratched from the lineup tonight with some back tightness. Efren Navarro optioned back to AAA Iowa to make room for Rizzo. And he promptly gets hit on a curveball at 63 miles an hour. Even he had to laugh.
There's a big looping curveball from Wainwright.
Cubs have been hit a major league high 16 times in just 15 games.
Wainwright's Twitter handle is @UncleCharlie.
Yeah, the curveball's always been his bread and butter pitch.
So far here in the early going, they're really leaning heavily on that curveball. You see the last 4 seasons curveball usage is 10% higher this year than last.
Contreras hit 5 home runs last year against St. Louis. Looking for his first home run this season. 0-2.
So for Wainwright at this stage of his career, the fastball becomes the change of pace in many ways. Slow hook, little cutter, slower curveball. He has that plan in the back of your mind that he's going to say soft, and boom, here comes 89, and he's able to slip it by you.
Rizzo the runner at first, 2 outs, first inning. Call strike 3. Adam Wainwright in a very youthful first inning with 3 punch outs.
Fascist.
These fans here at Wrigley, and he said, you know, it's been about 3 or 4 days that he has felt ready to go, just from the sense of swinging harder, ramping things up, and feeling how it responds the next day. And he said that it's been good for a few days, so he was excited to get out here tonight. Guys, moving forward from the standpoint of loosening up, he says it's going to be a lot more stretching, a lot more maintenance before he gets those routines going and getting out here on the field. So that'll be what Anthony's trying to do to make sure that back doesn't stiffen up on him throughout the season.
Thank you, Kelly. Jose Martinez vacated.
It's like he'd been attacked by a swarm of bees.
And that was a fastball from Chatwood that got away from him.
Yeah, well, we talked about the dexterity on a cold day in terms of spinning the breaking ball, but pitchers will tell you when it gets really cold, sometimes it's like you're throwing a cue ball, and that's not a purpose pitch, but it's a pitch he can use to his advantage, because everybody over there in that Cardinal dugout's like, uh-oh. Not a comfortable feeling if you feel like the pitcher doesn't have a grip.
Martinez, one of those two guys you were talking about, he and Tommy Pham, late bloomers, a lot of minor league time, and both guys now asked to play big roles on this club.
Did a real nice job for the Cardinals last year in a part-time role, and now getting a chance to play every day. He was questionable coming into this one, had a little bit of a left wrist issue, but based on that last swing, I'm assuming all systems go. He really let the bat fly.
After a great start, and he takes in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike on Martinez. Yadier Molina is on deck. It's just great to be back on the air.
And not having any rain coming into the booth. Right. Papers, we don't need paperweights to hold down the papers.
The wind is not too bad. That's ball 4. Second walk issued by Chatwood. So Sunday's game that was colded out, I guess, Jackie Robinson Day, the Braves will come back on May 14th. That'll be a 121st pitch, and we will celebrate and honor Jackie Robinson that day. Last night's game that was postponed will be made up as part of a split doubleheader on July 21st. That'll be a 5-game series out of the All-Star break. Molina went around. That's a strike. Cubs dominated the season series last year, going 14-5 against the Cardinals, including 8-1 here at Wrigley.
And Cubs won 8 of the last 9 games between these two clubs last season.
1-1 on Molina. And recently served a 1-game suspension for going after Torey Lovullo, the manager of the Diamondbacks. That was a very weird situation, to say the least. So Lovullo came out to argue with a home plate umpire and referenced Molina's pitch framing skills, but he used a bad word in doing so, and Molina heard it, and you can understand why Yachty would have been upset.
Took offense and went after Lovullo. Really good in his career against the Cubs, but not so much here at Wrigley Field.
Two and two.
Cardinals middle of the pack in the National League in runs scored. Second in the league in home runs, trailing only the Rockies.
They've got 24 homers. Molina went out of the zone that time and just got a piece of it.
They've homered in 6 consecutive ball games. Second time this year they've had a streak of that length.
Been a tough start for Chatwood and all the Cubs starters. I mean, he made his first start, then he had to wait a week. Made his second start, and then he had to wait a week to make his third start. And he's not on the Shohei Ohtani plan. That's just the way it's worked out.
Yeah, it's just working out that way. You know, some clubs would handle it differently. They would just skip a guy towards the back of the rotation and try to keep everybody else on turn. But if you were to do that with, you know, the postponements and then the off days and everything else, you might not use a guy for 3 weeks.
Runner at first, nobody out, and a 2-2 is hooked foul to left. Now the Cubs are staying in line in their rotation. And looking ahead to those makeups we've got, you know, the split doubleheader in Cincinnati, the split here in July. So then you start thinking about a 6th starter. So for the time being, he feels like he can't get the regular 5 out there often enough, but at some point later this year, you're not going to have enough to fill all the gaps. 3-2 on Molina. It always feels like you get more off days when you don't need them, and you don't get enough when you need them.
You can't change the schedule. You know, we're not going to play today. We need a little break.
Runner goes on 3-2, and the pitch was high. How about that? So Mike Matheny, a lot of confidence in Molina's contact skills, sending a runner with nobody out.
Yeah, and I think a little fear of the contact skills too.
Right.
The type of contact. Molina hits the ball on the ground a lot, and Chatwood, when he's on his game, will induce a lot of ground balls. Molina doesn't run well, so good idea to start the runner there to make sure you stay out of a double play. So walks starting to rear their ugly head here for Tyler, as they did in his first start when he walked 6 in 6 innings. But he was able to pitch around them. He was kind of like Houdini, only allowed 1 run.
Greg Garcia getting the start at third base tonight. It's his 3rd consecutive start at his 3rd different position. So starts at second, short, and third. Here recently had a 2-homer game, the first of his career on Saturday in Cincinnati. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Have been pitching very well this year. They've got a good-looking lineup, as I mentioned, above average, but right now kind of middle of the pack in terms of runs scored. But Paul DeYoung's your 8-hole hitter. You've got some depth in that lineup.
He is on deck. Swing and a miss. That's a big first out for Chatwood.
Everybody is in. Rizzo, Bryant, Javi, Kyle, and the rest of the boys are ready for another shot at October Glory. Be part of it all season long at Wrigley Field. Tickets are still available for tomorrow afternoon's game with the Cardinals. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com.
So here's DeYoung, 7 batters in, only 1 ball in play. That was the Ozuna fly to right in the first inning. And a strike called on the Antioch, Illinois native.
4 home runs already this year. Last year, he had an 857 OPS, tops among National League shortstops.
He has struck out a ton early, 25 times in 61 plate appearances. In March, he signed a 6-year extension. 1-2 on DeYoung. It was close, couldn't get the call. 2-2. Now the pitch swung on and fouled to the screen. So the deal, he signed 6 years, $26 million plus 2 club options. The largest contract ever for a player with less than a year of service time. That's starting to see that trend a little bit. without a lot of major league time getting signed to longer term deals.
Yeah, players, and if they continue to perform at the level, you know, like DeYoung did, it's going to turn out to be a very club-friendly deal.
He strikes out. So 2 down, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts here in the second. And it's up to Wainwright, who won the Silver Slugger last year. Sported a .731 on base plus slugging. Career .203 batter, so not an automatic out. Swing and a miss. "12 batters into this game, JD. 1 ball in play. That's it."
Yeah, that's modern baseball.
7 strikeouts, 3 walks, and a hit batter.
You hear so many people lament, you know, I could have been a big leaguer. I just couldn't hit the curveball. Well, sometimes the big leaguers can't hit the curveball either. That's on display here tonight.
Martinez, the runner at second base. Molina's at first. 1-1 on Adam Wainwright. Base coaches for the Cardinals: Oliver Marmol over at first, and Jose Oquendo, the secret weapon, back at third. 2-1. John Lester will start tomorrow against Luke Weaver. Forecast doesn't look great, but there is a mutual off day on Thursday. We'd like to think we can get 2 games in here over the next couple of days, one way or the other. 2-2.
Like the old NBA, 3 to make 2.
Right. Cubs have an off day scheduled Thursday and then another one on Monday in Cleveland. Call strike 3. It's just been pitcher catcher basically here in the first inning and a half.
Sport. Test your sports trivia knowledge, and you could win big.
Welcome back. We want to send out 66 wedding anniversary wishes to Raul and Jesse Garza, watching in Sterling, Illinois tonight. 66
Happy
years.
anniversary.
How awesome is that?
Wow.
And thank you for giving us Bryant Garza. He's been with the Cubs organization for many years, and we love him. Schwarber, Baez, and Russell. Kyle did not start the game on Saturday, but he knocked in the winning run with a bases loaded walk. So there was not much knocking, it was more walking. He had 2 bases loaded walks that day.
Yeah, that was the theme. The best strategy in that game was take the pitch. Bunch of walks and one very big swing of the bat by Javi Baez.
Curveball almost clipped him.
He was up on top of the plate the way Rizzo is. He would have been hit by that pitch.
Tried it again and missed the outside corner.
Three-time All-Star Wainwright, twice a Gold Glove winner.
2-1. He has a contract that runs out after this season, so naturally he'll be asked about his future plans. I'm sure already has been. Schwarber puts a ball in play. And Ozuna makes the catch. I think the Cardinal defenders were saying, what do we do?
Who's going to return that punt?
Our high-speed action is powered by Xfinity. Bases clearing double by Javier Baez. Tied the ball game at 10 on Saturday. The Cubs had trailed at one point 9-1 and then 10-2. They would win the game 14-10. That is a fair ball past Martinez. Baez will try for a second, and he's going to make it. When he gets a hit, you almost assume it's going to be for extra bases. You know, he has 1 single on the year. He's got 10 hits, 3 doubles, 2 triples, 4 homers.
Yeah, and rarely do you see him go on this way, you know, just letting that ball get deep and hitting it to the opposite field. That's a very good sign.
He's in scoring position for Addison Russell, who's batting 7th tonight. Throw behind the runner, and Baez back in time. Carpenter, he's got that mask on. Can he even see?
Looks like he got an atomic wedgie.
Well, whenever we say something like this is the coldest game I've ever called, I really hesitate before saying stuff like that. I was heartened because I said that Saturday that Joe Madden agreed after the game. Said the worst conditions he's ever seen.
Yeah, well, it's a combination too. Temperature, wind, rain. Here it's cold and getting colder tonight. So this is going to be among the coldest game these guys have ever played. It's not as miserable as it was the other day.
Yeah, you take the rain out of it, that helps a little bit. Ball and 2 strikes to Russell. Hayward on deck. And I would love to say on a night like this, 1 run may be enough, but we just showed you highlights of a 14-10 game in conditions worse than this. Ozuna's got it. So Russell lines out, and it will be up to the ex-Cardinal Jason Hayward.
Cold weather generally favors the pitchers as long as they can control the baseball. When it gets to the point where they no longer have the good feel on the pitch, then all bets are off. Anything can happen. And that's what really keyed the Cubs' comeback the other day. The Brave pitchers, one after another, had no feel at all.
Baez doubled with 1 out. Now there are 2. And Hayward pops foul out of play behind the third base dugout. Notice they have a little platform up against the railing in both dugouts, so guys have a little bit of a better view of the field. It's a game of adjustments.
Yeah, good work.
Pitch is high. A couple of guys battling here from Georgia, and both guys drafted by the Braves. Wainwright from Brunswick, Georgia. Hayward from McDonough. Off the outside, it's 2-1.
Molina very adept back there framing pitches. Almost got that one for Wainwright. He kind of settles into this pitch, shifts the body, keeps the hand still, and then just cradles it a little bit. Giving Manny Gonzalez a good look. Wainwright acquired from the Braves back in December of 2003. Along with Jason Marquis and Ray King for J.D. Drew and Eli Marrero. He's the only one still standing among that group.
Driven the other way, but Ozuna will make the catch. Sounded good off the bat, but the Cubs strand Baez at second, and we're scoreless after 2. for the fast pitch of the game. It's presented by Xfinity, America's best internet service provider.
With the run on that two-seam fastball, he has struck out 5 already tonight.
Top of the order. Second time around for St. Louis. 3 base runners, all on walks. Not every seat is filled, but a big crowd here when you think about the weather. And it's Cubs Cardinals. A lot of fans braving the elements tonight. And thank you for watching us. 1-0 on Fowler. 1 inning in 2008 with the Rockies in right field. The only time in the big leagues at that position prior to this season. Played a little bit in the minor leagues in right. And we know him as a center fielder. Two and one. I mentioned, he struggled. I think made 51 starts in the leadoff spot for St. Louis last year. He was way better everywhere else, but he said, I treated every at bat like I was a leadoff hitter, whether I hit third, fourth, seventh, or first. It didn't really matter.
Right. Sometimes stuff just happens. Try to connect the dots and explain it, and sometimes it just doesn't add up.
Matheny's going more by his career track record as a leadoff man, and that's one reason why he takes walks. Matheny now in his 7th season as the Cardinals manager. They're coming off back-to-back non-playoff seasons after 5 consecutive trips.
Into the postseason in each of his first 4 years as manager, and won the National League pennant in 2013.
Pham takes a strike on the outside corner. Tommy Pham, a really interesting guy. He is from Las Vegas. He's 30 years old. And he's been very upfront about his disappointment in the fact that it took him this long to get here, that the Cardinals didn't always believe in him as a big league player. He's been derailed a bit by injury. He's had some vision issues. And a bust out 2017. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he knows all the fancy stats that we use. He knows wins above replacement. He can rattle off.
Yeah, well, he was.
That was worth this, and my OPS was that.
His wins above replacement last year was elite. It was near the top of the league.
23 homers, 25 steals, 22 doubles for Pham last year. But he did not get to the big leagues until his 9th professional season. 2-2.
So you can understand why he would be bitter. But I think that's just, it's people over there swung and missed, obviously, in assessing his ability to help their ball club. I don't think it was anything where they were trying to hold him down. That's the one beautiful thing about baseball. If you can play, you're going to get there.
Yeah, and I think part of it, I was reading a piece, I think it was the SI piece earlier this year, when Jeff Luhnow left to go to Houston. He felt that was kind of a benchmark, that there aren't a lot of people in the front office who were there when he was drafted back in 2006. Outside for a ball. And you know how players are. Sometimes they're very attuned to that. I'm not, quote, their guy. But the Cardinals have to be really happy that he has hung around their organization for all these years. Runner goes on a 3-2 and it's fouled off.
First came to the big leagues in 2014, just a couple of plate appearances that year. Split time the next year between St. Louis and AAA.
Fowler runs again, ball 4. So Chatwood walked the first 2 men in the second, but got out of it by dealing with the bottom of the order. This time he's got to face 3, 4, 5, and Jim Hickey will head out to the mound.
Folks, join the Cubs for Autism Awareness Night Thursday, April 26th. Show your support by purchasing specially priced tickets to watch the Cubs take on the Brewers. A portion of net proceeds from Autism Awareness Night will be donated to Autism Speaks. For more information, visit Cubs.com/community nights. This is kind of been the Tyler Chatwood story throughout his career. Really good stuff. Kind of a funky delivery that can help him, add some deception, but also create some issues in terms of command. Always had a above average or higher than average walk rate.
You see the Cubs mound visits. In those 6 boxes, 5 are lit up. That means there are 5 visits left.
Or if you were playing match game, you had a really good round. Charles Nelson Riley let you down. Carpenter over the last few years has changed his game a little bit. He's still a pretty patient hitter, but he's become more aggressive, especially in RBI situations like this. So he might look to ambush one here. He's been a line drive hitter. He started to lift the ball a little bit more, hitting for more power.
Carpenter shows bunt, but I don't think was going to bunt it, even if it was a strike.
It's take mode all the way, and yeah, they're not going to give up any outs here. Mike Matheny, I think he likes the sacrifice bunt, but even though Carpenter's scuffling, he would not take the bat out of his hands, I don't think. Wow. I think you're doing a guy a favor if you bunt here when he's having a hard time finding the zone.
Drives that one a deep right, and at the wall. It'll be picked up by Hayward. Little confusion on the bases. They will score a run. They had to wait to make sure that ball wouldn't be caught. And Carpenter has an RBI double. After showing bunt early, it's 1-0.
This ball bounces right at the base of the wall. Carpenter has to read the base runner in front of him. A little hitch before he makes it into second base.
The second and third, nobody out. 1-0. Here's Ozuna. Ground ball to short. Another run will score. Fan is in. Ozuna gets an RBI. It's 2-0. Carpenter holding at second. 1 out. And it's Martinez. Martinez, a large human, 6'6".
They're obviously, in hindsight, had Carpenter broken right away, he would have made it to third base as that ball bounced away from Contreras. Because of his arm and his athleticism behind the plate, though, the default play for a lot of guys is not to be too aggressive.
No cut by Martinez, says Jeff Nelson at first. Martinez bouncing around in the minor leagues for a long time before he made his big league debut in his 11th season with the Cardinals. Time with the White Sox, Braves, Royals, Cardinals, all in the minor leagues before he got to the majors here. Played some independent ball along the way in Rockford, Illinois, 2014. There'll be some people watching us tonight who go, "Oh yeah, I remember when he was in Rockford."
That Jose Martinez.
Was the Frontier League, the Rockford Aviators.
Minor leaguer, hit for average, but not for a lot of power. Obviously a big guy. He hit 14 home runs last year.
Charging it is Russell. Get the out at first. Carpenter's at third with 2 gone. And it'll bring up Yadier Molina. And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on NBC Sports Chicago and streaming the Cubs game on MTC Technologies in Mediapolis, Iowa. Molina takes inside on a breaking ball. He recently passed Johnny Bench on the all-time innings caught list, so he sits at number 13 all-time. Chop to Bryant. Chris has lots of time and he throws out Molina, but they cash in the 2 walks to start the frame, score twice on 1 hit and lead 2-0. Team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Adam Wainwright has an early 2-0 lead. Cubs will have Chatwood, Happ, and Bryant here in the third. Get you up to date on everything else around baseball as we have time throughout the evening. I'll tell you, Francisco Lindor hitting a big home run tonight because he's back in his native Puerto Rico. Indians and the Twins matching up for a 2-game series there.
Bet you they're not wearing ski caps.
No. Indians lead that game 4-0. 24 postponements already this season. Shohei Ohtani will pitch tonight against the Red Sox. Oakland free ticket, free parking as they expect a sellout against the White Sox to celebrate their 50th anniversary at the Coliseum.
Is it a sellout if the tickets are free?
Yes, I would say so. That Ohtani start will be in Anaheim against Boston tonight. Blue Jays beat the Royals first game of a doubleheader 11-3 earlier and lead 4-3 in the 7th in game 2. They got postponed yesterday because of a hole in the roof at Rogers Center. Swing and a miss by Happ.
Really pulled the string on that one.
It feels like Wainwright's really embracing the lower velocity. He's trying to even go slower.
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember a lot of 65s and 68s on his curveball. That one at 71.
Well, last year he was a 12-game winner. He was 12-5, but he had an ERA of 5.11.
Injury plagued. A couple of stints on the DL. Had minor elbow surgery following the year.
He never was a real, extreme hard thrower. But, he was 90 to 92 regular. Now he's more like 89, 90. But there may be some analytics at work here too with this curveball usage. More and more clubs are, digging into pitch usage and percentage, and guy can spin it like Wainwright.
Swing and a miss. Fastball. Top of the zone, got him.
Strikeout issues continue for Ian Happ. Second time he's gone down tonight with the red K. This time it's an elevated two-seam runner.
Well, Wainwright used to be a guy who'd give you a lot of innings. He's led the National League in innings a couple of times. 241 2/3 back in 2013. 2 years ago, he got within 4 outs of the 200 mark. But he might be getting to the point, JD, where he's a 5 or 6 inning guy, right? A couple times through the order, and then
I think the whole baseball world is becoming but yeah, more of a back of the rotation type guy in terms of how you use him or what you expect from him. So obviously top of the rotation resume. He's had a great career.
$2-0 on Chris Bryant. Here's the pitch. Low and outside.
146 career wins for Wainwright. That's 10th most among active pitchers. Second most, here's a little trivia for you, second most among active pitchers who've all their wins have come with one team. You know who number 1 on that list would be?
That's a good one. Well, my first thought, but I have to figure out how many years he's been in the big leagues, would be Felix Hernandez.
You are correct, sir.
How many does he have?
160-ish, 162, something like that. Wainwright's got one more than Kershaw.
Bryant draws the walk. First one issued by Wainwright. And here is Rizzo, got hit on the very first pitch, curveball at about 63 miles an hour in his first plate appearance. Cubs trail 2-0. We're in the bottom of the third inning. And a strike called. Michael Wacha got pushed out of this series due to the postponement yesterday, so Luke Weaver will start tomorrow.
Starters have been good for the Cardinals. They've got a lot of W's. Weaver, Wacha, and Wainwright.
Tonight's take brought to you by AARP. A lot of matchups between these two. Rizzo with one career home run. Line foul. Wainwright and Molina have started together now 239 times. That is the most for a starting battery in Cardinal history. They passed Bob Gibson and Tim McCarver back in 2016. Previous battery to have at least this many starts together, Tom Glavine and Javi Lopez.
I wonder if Wainwright has ever told Molina, get back behind the plate. The only thing you know about pitching is that it's hard to hit. Well, that's what Timmy Mack said that Gibson said to him.
And what did Tim reply with? Okay. Good talk.
Well, shucks, Hoot. I don't know. Just doing what I'm told. I don't want to be out here. The manager sent me out here.
Go time for Bryant with 2 down and a 3-2 count on Rizzo, and the pitch is punched foul, out of play.
Punched being the operative word. Rizzo shortening up as he so often does in situations like this, willing to sacrifice a little power to put the ball in play.
He walked him.
Wainwright throughout his career better than average in terms of the walk rate. He walked 4 in his first 2 starts combined coming into this one. That's 3 here tonight. That last one, I think, just didn't want to give in to Anthony. Tried to make the perfect pitch with the breaking ball, and he just didn't execute it.
Strike called on Contreras. Hitting cleanup tonight. Happy 16th, Mandy Logan. Celebrating tonight with her dad. They're in the bleachers. That hit Contreras around the hand, and fortunately he's all right. And the bases are loaded. All this happening with 2 outs, 2 walks and a hit batter.
Ouch. Oh my goodness.
Left wrist.
Yep. He's gotten it up there a couple times this year, hasn't he? I know Javier has. Kind of looks familiar. to go hard in to set up the breaking ball away.
Fans on their feet now as Kyle Schwarber has a 2-out opportunity with the bases loaded. Two walks and a hit batter after 2 were out. The 1-0 is in there for a strike. So as a hitter, JD, if you're sitting anything against Wainwright, what would it be?
Well, it's got to be curveball, right? At some point, I would imagine the hitters would go up there going, I'm just going to look for a curveball throughout this at bat. At least until you get 2 strikes.
The kick and the pitch. Fly will land in the seats. Foul off of third.
Which is kind of counterintuitive to what you always say. You're going to look fastball until you get 2 strikes, and then you got to be ready for anything. But Wainwright kind of going at it backwards here tonight with all the breaking stuff and the occasional heater to try to sneak it by you.
He did get a fastball, and it was up and out of the zone. And they gave an emergency hack just to stay alive.
Yeah, 92 had a little more life on it than some of the other ones. Yeah, you get the sense watching him pitch here today. The pitches he wants to throw in the zone are the breaking pitches, and the fastballs are going to be up. You know, elevated, trying to get a chase, or maybe that hard cutter in. I haven't seen the bounce the curveball in front of home plate. Interesting what Molina did there when giving the signs to Wainwright. Twice he asked for the ball up. You wouldn't do that unless you were asking for a fastball. As he was going through the signs with his hands, he motioned with his hands, I want it up, and then prior to the pitch, he flashed the leather up. And that's all about base runner on second base, making sure they're not tipping anything to the hitter.
Did not go after that pitch in the dirt. 2-2 on Schwarber. Cardinals grabbed the lead with 2 in the top of the third on just 1 hit. They converted after the first 2 men reached on walks.
If he goes full, everybody will be moving on the 3-2. He'd prefer to make his pitch here.
Strike 3. Curved him, and he gets out of it as the Cubs leave the bases loaded. It's 2-0 St. Louis after 3. Cardinals lead 2-0. Adam Wainwright out of a 2-out bases full jam. Striking out Kyle Schwarber looking. Cardinals will have the bottom 3 in their order. JD, we need those.
Yeah.
That is a good look.
Really cool.
A strike on Greg Garcia.
I bet you his nickname is Gigi.
Could be. Two and one. So right, Chatwood is Chatty, he's not Woody, right?
Somebody was thinking outside the box.
Myers will take care of Garcia.
On Friday, April 27th, the Cubs take on the Brewers. First pitch 120, and up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans will receive a Cubs fleece blanket presented by American Airlines. Tickets still available. Cubs.com to get yours.
Paul DeYoung with 1 out, nobody on. Bad news for the Pirates, as they'll be without Josh Harrison for a while. He's got a broken left pinky finger, the same bone he broke last September. Get well wishes to our friend Chris Bosio, now the Tigers pitching coach, away from the team now for a couple of weeks with an undisclosed health issue.
Whatever it takes to stay warm. 4 consecutive ground ball outs recorded by Chatwood.
Good life on that fastball at 93. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wainwright on deck. DeYoung struck out his first time up, and he does again. And for DeYoung, that is now 3 walks and 27 strikeouts to start the year.
Yeah, just late getting started on that high fastball. It's over 40% of his plate appearances he has struck out. Last year it was 28, which is a good bit higher than league average, but nowhere near close to what he's doing so far this year. The kind of rookie year that DeYoung had, people are going to take notice and they're going to work hard trying to figure out a game plan.
Popped up shallow center. It's Baez's play, and he makes it. First 1, 2, 3 for Chatwood. Bottom 4. Cardinals 2, Cubs nothing.
card. Only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Members FDIC.
That was Gallagher Way, formerly known as the park at Wrigley. So many great changes and updates in and around this ballpark.
Huh.
Wainwright got out of a 2-out jam in the third. Will face Javier Baez, who has the lone Cub hit, a 1-out double in the second.
You know what you should do out there on Gallagher Way?
I have a feeling I know where this is going.
Involve a big hammer and a watermelon?
Yeah. Swing and a miss.
68-mile-an-hour slow curve. He got a first pitch fastball last time and shot it down the first base line for a 2-base hit.
The outside. Marlins lead the Yankees 9-0 in the Bronx tonight. They are in the bottom of the 8th. Curve is inside for a ball. 3-1. Yankees a winner last night. Driven the other way, high and deep, and caught at the wall. Little leap and a grab by Fowler.
Many days where this ball is going to fly out of this ballpark. Another good at bat by Baez. Worked the count to 3-1. Got a fastball middle away and hammers it to right field. And initially I thought this baby's going to fly out of here. It did not. Molina didn't want fastball there. Wainwright shook to it.
To Russell is fouled back of the plate. High chopper, I think it went off the plate. Barehanded pick, but the throw gets away and Russell will head to second. Should be an infield hit and an error on Wainwright. Well, they're just going to go straight up error. So an error on Wainwright.
I don't know. I'd be inclined to give him a knock.
Well, because he barehanded it, I think that made it a tougher play. Hayward lined to left his first time up. No Ben Zobrist in the lineup. He was scratched late with a tight back. Hayward was originally in center, but then moved to right. It was pointed out to me how interesting it was, the original lineup. Dexter Fowler for the Cardinals playing right and Hayward playing center. inside corner. 1-1.
Yeah, a lot of the metrics don't like Dexter in center. The Cardinals moved him around a little bit last year, right? They had him in left field for a while and ultimately moved him back to center. Now they've committed to Pham in center once they acquired Ozuna.
And Ozuna, very good outfielder. 2 balls and a strike. He's a former center fielder. And Bob Rosenberg has changed the call. It is a single and an error. That's the right call, Rosie. You let him know?
If he was looking in my direction, I did.
You did. You gave him a thumbs up.
Wainwright trying to spend as little time in the strike zone as possible, especially with the fastball. He got away with one to Baez on 3-1.
Russell scores, so they take advantage of that throwing error. And it's now a 2-1 ball game.
Matt Carpenter at second base has limited range. I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't leave his feet to try to knock this ball down. He might have been able to save a run, but I guess he just made the determination that he was not going to be able to get leather on it at all. And with that look at it, yeah, he wasn't close enough.
It brings up Chatwood.
No guarantee of a bunt here.
Garcia in at third.
Little slug bunt here. Fill bunt. They charge aggressively, pull it back, and just try to slash it.
Posted foul. He laid down 7 sacrifices last season.
Typically, Joe Madden in this situation, especially with one out, he's going to have his pitchers, especially again with a guy like Chatwood who's been swinging a little bit. He's going to let him swing until he's got a couple of strikes and then maybe sacrifice. But obviously, that has not been the case in this at bat.
Buttons that ball in front of the plate. Molina will pick it up and get it to Carpenter. We'll go 2-4. He'll get high fives in the dugout. And here's Ian Happ with the tying run at second base and 2 outs. Happ has struck out twice. Inside, ball 1.
In a sense, the bunt, a show of confidence in Ian Happ. Go ahead and bunt him over, send you up there with a man in scoring position with 2 outs.
Ian has 24 strikeouts now, 50 plate appearances, so he'd like to cut down big time on his strikeouts too. Talking about DeYoung earlier. 2-0. But it's early. Only the 13th game so far for Happ, and only the Cubs' 15th game of the season.
Joe continues to split playing time between Happ and Almora, trying to keep them both in the flow.
3-0 with Bryant waiting on deck.
So much for that protection theory, right?
Right. The theory would be they would pitch to Happ, throw him a bunch of fastballs because Bryant is on deck. Instead of a 4-pitch walk.
Yeah.
Mike Maddox is the Cardinals' first-year pitching coach. Well respected.
Always with the right hand up on the shoulder.
Bryant, who has struck out and walked, will bat with 2 on. The Cubs have already stranded 5 runners through 2 innings. Through 3 innings.
4 walks and a hit batter now from Wainwright tonight. Keeps getting in over his head, but manages to swim safely to shore. This is a particularly tough assignment for Wainwright because Bryant generally does not panic in these situations. He can go up there and start flailing away and force him into the strike zone.
Two and 0.
Sooner or later, you're going to have to throw one in there to somebody.
Wainwright pitching very carefully here with a 2-1 lead in the 4th. Bounce to third, so the Cubs will strand 2 more. So 4 innings for the Cubs offensively, and they have left 7 on base. They do get on the board, however, it's 2-1.
ago it was kidney cancer, but she's out there with her brother William here before the game. Those are all her teachers at school, and she was getting to do the national anthem this evening, guys, with John Vincent. A dream come true for Colleen, who is getting ready to start radiation on Monday. So certainly our thoughts and prayers with Colleen and her family, but a big night for her this evening.
Great to see her here. Thanks, Kelly. Outside on Dexter Fowler, 2-1 St. Louis, 5th inning. Fowler a leadoff walk and scored their first run in the 3rd.
Third time through the order.
Driven out into left center. Schwarber will grab it. Retiring his ex-teammate. 1 down.
Cubs would love to get this one and one more out of Tyler Chatwood here tonight.
For Navarro in the Iowa lineup tonight with an RBI hit. They are wearing the throwback uniforms of the Oaks. 50 seasons. They celebrate 50 seasons of baseball in Des Moines. Was there not an ABA team called the Oakland Oaks?
Sounds familiar.
Rick Barry? Did he play for them? I don't know. Loose balls I read a couple years ago. I seem to recall that. There's a strike, 3-1. And he walked him. Second time Pham has reached via the free pass. And here's Carpenter. Matt with a walk and an RBI double.
I will say this, I would never argue that walking guys is a prudent strategy for a pitcher. But when you look at Chatwood's start so far this year, not just the numbers, but you know, that first one in Cincinnati, he walked 6 in 6 innings, but only allowed the 1 run. Last time out, he only walked 1. He gave up 5 runs and 9 hits. Sometimes, you know, the hitters become a little passive when you're not in the strike zone a lot. You know, the old effectively wild.
And so first start, a lot of walks, few strikeouts. A lot of strikeouts, few walks in the second start, and now a lot of both here in his 3rd. So his next start, he'll have 0 walks and 0 strikeouts. Just to run the gamut.
Yeah, and only 1 hit allowed here tonight. The Carpenter double in the 3rd.
Carpenter battling shoulder and back issues. And the shoulder issue might determine where he plays mostly on defense. He has made 11 starts at third base this season. This is his 4th start at second, and he's made a start at first. They got Jed Jerko back off the DL tonight. That is low. 2-1.
A lot of guys in the league you can pitch backward to. You can get behind and then get them to chase a pitch out of the zone because they get overly anxious. Carpenter doesn't fall into that category.
Three and one.
So Hayward's a little deeper this time than he was last time. Certainly he would be on a 3-1 count, much more likely to do damage in a hitter's count.
Three and two. This is the first of a 19-game season series. And a season series that never seems to disappoint. See if Pham's on the move. He's not running, and the pitch is a strike 3 call.
Since Carpenter was guessing ball there. Guessing breaking ball, but a good fastball over the outside corner. Good pitch. Beautiful pitch.
Steve Cishek is up.
So strikeout number 7 for Tyler. His career high is 11.
Fouled by Ozuna.
"37 home runs for Ozuna last year, part of that talented Marlin outfield that's no longer there. Stanton, Yelich, and Ozuna, as good as any in the game.
Put up a .924 OPS. Knocked off the plate on that fastball at 94, 1-1. Saw a note tonight. Stanton at Yankee Stadium is like 3 out of 35 with 20 strikeouts to start his Yankee career, and he's hearing about it.
Well, yeah, like in one of his very first games there, they were booing him. He went 0 for 5.
Nationals lead the Mets 4-2 in the 8th. Both New York teams hosting games tonight. 1-2 the count on Ozuna.
Be tempted to run Pham here. Thinking perhaps you get a breaking ball. Nope. And nope. Chapman's pretty quick to home, and Contreras throws very well. But I just thought maybe he'd be thinking, you know, let's go ahead and try to get into scoring position. If the count continues to build, we might have a chance to drive one in. And you know, even if you get thrown out with 2 strikes, then you got Ozuna with a fresh start next inning.
2-2, missed on a breaking ball.
I guess Mike Matheny would say, well, I don't really want to take any chances on the bases if he's going to keep walking guys. And now obviously he will be in motion on 3-2. Rizzo plays behind him at first.
That is ball 4. He's allowed 1 hit, but they've had a lot of traffic tonight due to his 7 walks. And it's Jose Martinez.
Joe was just waiting for confirmation that Cishek was good to go.
Pitching change in the 5th inning. It's 2-1 St. Louis. We'll be back.
dancing bullpen beverage tumbler presented by Pepsi. Tickets are available at Cubs.com. See, it's a tumbler, and on that tumbler there's a scene of the guys in the bullpen dancing as they do when the Cubs hit a home run.
Former Cardinals Steve Cishek against Jose Martinez with 2 on and 2 down in the 5th inning. Big bat waggle by Martinez, and takes a curve on the outside corner for a strike.
It's a little sweeper perfectly placed on that outside edge.
Thanks to Trace for pointing out there was an Oakland Oaks of the old PCL, and Billy Martin played for the Oaks, his hometown team. One and one.
Should have known that because we both read the Billy Martin book. The team is very animated in the box. I don't think he was earlier, was he? Just
real exaggerated movements. Maybe the pitch is delivered.
Too much coffee pregame?
Can you ever have too much coffee? 1 and 2. And the big slugging first baseman. You can see the scouting report where they want to pitch him.
Well, it's certainly pitching away from damage. Boy, you keep the ball down, out, away from him like that. There's not much he can do. Shoot one the other way.
A chopper to first. Rizzo will field. Cishek covering, and he got him by half a step. And the Cardinals strand a couple in the 5th. They lead the Cubs in the series opener 2-1.
.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. Folks having some fun in the stands tonight. It seems like the other day, I think the fans, the ones that stayed, they survived that game more than anything else, but obviously they were rewarded at the end with a crazy comeback.
Did they ever? Anthony Rizzo just off the DL, and he fouls out of play. He has been on twice via hit by pitch and a walk.
Got some shots of the fans in that game the other day, and it was like they were serving out a sentence. Like, oh, you can go. You don't have to stay, but they hung in there. It's kind of the Wainwright story tonight. He has hung in there. A lot of traffic, crisis situations, but he's been able to wiggle out of them.
One. He's lifted into short center. It's Tommy Pham. And Rizzo out for the first time tonight. So the Cubs now 3 out of 15. That's a 200 batting average. But they've taken 3 walks, a couple of hit batters. Cardinals 1 for 16, but they've walked 7 times. So the ability to get on base has been there for both teams, just not via the hit particularly often.
Yeah. Both clubs have had opportunities to do a little more damage, and nobody's been able to come up with a big swing of the bat yet.
The catcher Contreras looks at a pitch off the outside. And you see 13 combined runners stranded. Adam Wainwright facing the Cubs for the 35th career time as a starting pitcher.
Yeah, he's got a whole career's worth of starts, season's worth of starts, excuse me, against the Cubs in his career.
'44th career appearance. 14-9 with an ERA of just over 4. Numbers here in terms of the 1-loss record, a lot better than in St. Louis.
10-2 here, those 10 wins more than any other visiting pitcher among active pitchers. Now number 5 on the Cardinals all-time win list. Number 3 since 1940, trailing only Bob Gibson and Bob Forsch.
Works from the first base side of the rubber, and the 3-1 is popped up. That is Carpenter for out number 2.
That's what all the slow stuff earlier in the game does for you. You slow the hitters' bats down a little bit. You plant that seed of any pitch in any count, and then you can get away with that 3-1 challenge fastball.
The line on Tyler Chatwood, 4 2/3, 1 hit, 2 runs, 7 walks, 7 strikeouts. So definitely an odd line. But for the second time in his 3 starts, he walked a ton, but it didn't hurt him that much, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think, and I think that's kind of the way it's going to be with Tyler. He has such good stuff and real good movement on the fastball, so he's tough to square up. Should do a pretty good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. So, I think he's one of those guys that you can live with a few walks. Should be able to get, a fair number of double play balls because he gets a lot of balls on the ground. I mean, obviously you're not looking for 7 walks every time he goes out there, but he looks like the kind of guy who's going to be able to pitch around some walks.
Molino wanted that call, so Wainwright didn't get it. 3-0. Rockies stay hot. They shut out the Pirates tonight, 2-0 behind Chad Bettis. They did not give up a run into the 8th inning. Schwarber takes the walk. Got to work on my ball 4 call.
Yeah.
Well, just so many
walking
walking.
in, yeah.
We will see the Rockies on Friday in Denver, and I believe that's the night Nolan Arenado is eligible to come back from the suspended list. Currently serving 5 games. Toward left and through for a base hit. A rare single for Baez, his 2nd single of the year.
Both of his hits coming on first pitches here tonight. First pitch fastball, first time up he went to right field. This time it's a fastball moving in on him. He gets the hands pulled in, doesn't really barrel it up, but got enough of it and hit it in a good spot.
Dominic Leone up in the Cardinal pen. In the closing spot tonight, we're not quite sure. Greg Holland eventually will be their likely closer. Luke Gregerson would have been the closer to start the year, but he was on the DL. But when Holland got here, he walked a lot of guys in his first appearance, so Mike Matheny's trying to ease him in for that 9th inning role.
Yeah, and Bud Norris has been picking up save opportunities.
Russell pops it up right side of the infield, and it's Martinez to make the grab. So all the outs in the air here in the 5th, and it's still 2-1 for the visitors.
Oh my.
Cishek to Molina, low for ball 1. 6th inning, 2-1 Cardinals. Thanks to Nick, who sent a note via Twitter. They had a 7-year gap in the 60s in Des Moines. The I-Cubs celebrating their 50th consecutive season of AAA baseball, going back to the Iowa Oaks in 1969, but they had a B club, and then before that an A ball team. Some really interesting nicknames dating back to 1887. They were the Hawkeyes.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Sure.
Des Moines Hawkeyes. The Prohibitionists. How about this? 1903 in the Western League. As that ball on a bounce will get into left past Russell for a base hit. You're listening to the Des Moines Undertakers Radio Network. No.
Were they really the Undertakers?
Yeah. The champs, the boosters, the demons, the Bruins, the Undertakers. That's great. And I know they wouldn't have had a radio network in 1903. One strike on Greg Garcia. Baseball Reference, we mention it a lot. They have a few batting averages from that 1903 Undertakers team, but a lot of the names on the website page, it has a question mark, as if to say, we think the name is right, we're not quite sure. I'm sure minor league box scores were not particularly detailed back then. Cardinals here with back-to-back singles to start the 6th inning.
Wainwright, his spot is next, but Colton Wong is out swinging a bat on deck.
Be interesting to see Ohtani tonight facing the Red Sox. Boston off to an unprecedented 13-2 start. Best start in a long club history.
Ohtani was playing really good ball too.
Yep, and he was supposed to start Sunday in Kansas City, but that game was postponed. 1-2 on Paul DeYoung. Cishek needs a ground ball at an infielder.
Well, the way things have been going for DeYoung, he's more likely to get a swing and miss. Yeah, boy, that's the thing. DeYoung, when you're going through a funk like this with all the strikeouts, it seems like you're always hitting it with 2 strikes, and pitchers are just making nasty pitches. Cishek carved him up, just covering that outside corner. It's a hat trick for DeYoung, twice swinging and now caught looking.
So it is Colton Wong, left-handed batter, takes a breaking pitch off the outside corner.
Good numbers in the pinch.
Feels like the Cardinals have had really good pinch hitting numbers the last few years. Am I making that up?
No, that sounds right. Remember Matt Adams and
Bases loaded now for Dexter Fowler.
the Bader kid last year was really good off the bench.
Garcia, Greg Garcia.
Greg Garcia.
Yep. For his pinch hitting and anything else. So some trouble here for Cishek trying to keep this game close. One run allowed by Wainwright. It was unearned. He walked 4, struck out 5. And made 93 pitches over his 5 innings.
Yeah, both starters really labored. And again, the elements, being this cold, it's not easy. 93 pitches for Wainwright. He also hit a couple of batters to go along with those 4 walks.
Bases loaded, and the pitch to Fowler is a strike. That's Brian Dunsing up in the Cubs bullpen. Strike 2 on the slider. Got him. So he makes quick work of Fowler. 2 outs in the inning.
Boy, how about that work by Cishek? That was brilliant. A couple pitches right at the bottom of the knees, then the elevated fastball, and he went a little quicker that time too, so changed things up in terms of tempo and eye level. You see kind of the emergency late hack by Fowler. Beautiful work.
Not out of the woods yet. Pham has not put a ball in play. Slider strike, caught looking in the first, a walk and a run in the third, walked again in the 5th.
Small sample, but awfully good so far in his career in these situations.
On the ground, Baez to a knee, surveyed the scene, takes the out at first. Cardinals leave him loaded. Each team has stranded 9 base runners through 6 innings. 2-1 Cardinals. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Cubs pregame live, or you can stream the game live on the NBC Sports app. First man out of the Cardinal bullpen is Dominic Leone.
You know, they traded Magneuris Sierra to the Marlins in the Ozuna deal. Had they kept him, they would have had Sierra Leone, but they don't.
No, they don't. Former Mariner, Diamondback, and Blue Jay.
Well, good year for the Jays last year. Fastballs, cutters, and sliders.
1 ball, no strikes on Jason Hayward. 35 degrees at game time, so got to figure it's a couple of notches lower than that. We're a couple of hours in. Wind chill in the upper 20s. And a 2-1 ball game.
You know, I'm going with the I don't need no stinking sleeves approach.
Reading a story the other day, I think it was German Marquez of the Rockies. High fly ball, pretty well hit, but it's going to be playable for Ozuna. And Buddy Black basically forced him to wear long sleeves. He was trying to mind over matter thing, and it wasn't working. And he said, "You know what? You need to be comfortable."
Yeah.
And he pitched well.
Yeah.
I think he pitched in Pittsburgh earlier this week. You would not need to convince me to do that.
Yeah, it used to be, you know, back in the day, you wore sleeves all the time, and it was, you know, to protect your pitching arm, right? We were, you know, I remember wearing sleeves to bed sometimes. And, I don't think that really matters much in terms of the health of the arm. But yeah, you need to be comfortable. You need to stay warm to do your job, as warm as possible at least. Most guys, I mean, other guys, they seem unfazed.
Victor Caratini for Steve Cishek. Good work from Cishek. Got into but out of his own jam in the 6th. Line shot, left field. Ozuna grabs it.
Caratini, good solid swing off the bench. Just didn't get the result he was hoping for. Yeah, the confidence factor, I would think, in Cishek's got to be sky high right now for Joe Maddon. He just throws so many quality pitches.
Yeah, if there's one guy in the bullpen, I think Joe would be comfortable in any situation, right? 5th inning, closing, lefty, righty, whatever. I think Cishek would be number 1 on that list.
He looks like one of those guys. If you ask him to, you know, throw a certain pitch in a certain spot, he's going to be able to do it a high percentage of the time, more than most.
And while Brandon Morrow is the Cubs closer, at least you feel like you got some backup if Morrow might not be available on a particular day. And we've talked about this before, but I think the value of a closer in most situations has gone down compared to guys like Cishek, who you can plop into the exact spot you want to. Closers typically now are throwing 60 to 70 innings a year, right? Being saved for just a 1, 2, 3 run lead.
Yeah,
ninth inning.
And I think, you know, some teams have started to tinker with that a little bit. They're advancing the thinking, I think. I think teams are getting smarter in some ways, and maybe not so much in how they use guys, but how they allocate resources. The idea of paying a guy $20 million or $18 million to pitch an inning at a time, a lot of times with a 3-run lead. Teams are starting to question the value of that.
The Cardinals were walking off the field. They thought that was strike 3. As you see on our pitch cast, it was a little bit off.
That's a good take by Happ there with his struggles with the strikeouts. You could see where he might be anxious in that situation.
Toward first, but it's foul. Leon had a few things to think about there. Do I try to grab it before it goes foul? I've got to avoid running right into Happ. By the time he got there, the ball was already foul anyway.
And he's also still thinking, man, I wish we had Magneuris Sierra so he could be Sierra Leone in the team picture.
They thought it was funny. Courtesy smile.
Crickets.
Swing and a miss. And the Cubs done in the 6th inning. Bobby Dernier coming up in the 7th. 2-1 Cardinals.
Oh, yeah, it's big time, man. That's Paula. Paula brought the heaters today.
Way to go, Paula.
How are you, Bobby?
I'm doing well. Really doing good.
Nice to see you.
Been here for a week. I've been watching you guys.
When we've been out here, it's been a little tough to get these games in, but we're playing tonight, and a strike. Matt Carpenter.
I know on Saturday it was just unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
It really was. One of the craziest days of baseball we've ever witnessed. And it turned out in the Cubs' favor, fortunately. Carl Edwards Jr., the pitcher. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I brought you guys a couple of things. My good buddy Jerry Lasky told me to bring these and give them away. It's for the Joe Madden tournament coming up now. It's not till August, but August 13th.
Will that get us a hot dog on the course?
I don't know. They're manhole covers, I guess, for ball markers of sort. But we're going to do that again. It's 3rd annual, and they do a great job, you know, raising money for Respect 90. And good to be a part of that.
1 and 2 on Carpenter.
Probably haven't played much golf in Chicago this week.
Oh, no. I played in, I was down in Arizona for spring training again this year, so I played about once a week down there. It's been terrible, as you guys know. All over. I mean, Kansas City's been bad too. Not quite the snow that you get up here, but it's been cold.
Do you remember a game in your playing days, just the worst, the coldest? Does anything stand out?
Well, you remember, Jim, we were raised by, you know, the dads and grandpas of our era. They were kind of ego driven, so they didn't believe in earmuffs or, you know, neck pieces or the face mask the guys wear today. They're so much smarter.
Yeah.
But we went out there pretty much bare knuckles, and you know, 35 and flurries in Philly opening day wasn't unusual, or New York, or here, or you know, but we did have the sun here at least during the daytime back then.
Payoff delivery, swing and a miss. Carpenter strikes out. So you started your big league career with the Phillies, came to the Cubs, finished up with the Phillies. I'm trying to think of all the questions I've asked you over the years. Here's one that I don't think I've asked you. Should the Phillies go back to the zippered uniforms?
Oh, God. those weren't good.
The Baby Blues on the road.
Yeah, the Baby Blues were, you know, it was pretty cool, but even Mike Schmidt, I remember at one point he said, you know what, we got to go gray. And he got that changed. But they looked good. We thought we looked good anyway. We had kind of odd unis here for the road. I remember as a Cub, we had the button pants with the pullover top, and
sure,
they were kind of too tight. I don't know. I like the unis today, Jim. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we were looking at clips last night in our WGN special, and yeah, the Sansa belts with the knit pullovers back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I was watching, you know, I got to pick on JD a little bit with the champagne pour. He kind of forgot about you.
I don't think he forgot. Don't think he forgot.
That was on purpose?
Yeah, just saying.
All right. I'll give him a hall pass then. That was well done. I enjoyed watching it.
This is, by the way, the anniversary of Mike Schmidt's 4-homer game back in 1976. 18-16. Phillies beat the Cubs here at Wrigley Field. 5 for 6, 4 homers, 8 driven in. He was a pretty good player.
Boy, you know, and I saw Mike in his, you know, his heyday when I came up in '80 and early in my career, and then when I went back over there late, I was there the day he told us on the bus, in the back of the bus in San Francisco. He said, you know, I just played my last game, and we were like, no, you know, you can't quit. But he knew when to go home, and that was a sad day, but in Phillies history, you know, but what a great player. You know, for me, when people ask me, you know, greatest athletes maybe I played with, certainly Mike's on that list. Rhino, probably Dawson. Think of a few others, but, you know, JD, you know, of course, there wouldn't be a Hall of Fame without players like you and I, because they wouldn't have had anybody to compare him to.
We did our part.
Yeah, that's right. But they were such, you know, great players, and Mike was even greater person, you know, great leader and teammate. I enjoyed my years around him for sure.
2-2 swing and a miss. 2 down.
Cutting fastball, just nasty tonight, as it usually is. But not always beloved, right? Schmidt in Philly, he had some issues with the Philly fans. I guess everybody does, sooner or later.
Yeah, I heard that booing stuff when they were talking about Stanton recently in New York. And, you know, Yankee fans, you know, if you have a bad day, they're not afraid to boo you in Philly either. And, yeah, Mike took a few shots there, if you will, but I think overall that's long ago healed. And
strike called on Jose Martinez.
You know, he's beloved, and I don't get to see him very often. I was up in Philly just once last year, but you know, Mike's one of those guys that anybody who played with, I talked to Sarge and a number of guys that we played with him, and you get nothing but positive result or positive comments. You know, when guys talk about Mike Schmidt, you know, just the only thing I used to tell him was, you know, what are you getting so, you know, wound up about, you know, complaining about hitting? I said, you know, you got 500 home runs. Just breathe, you know, just go out there and play, you know, don't worry about all this other stuff. And even Mike needed a little boost every now and then.
Well, it's interesting because you do hear a lot of stories about great players that carry around a lot of insecurities.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what makes them great. They just don't, you know,
yeah,
not focusing on what they've accomplished. I just got to keep going. I got to get better. Whatever it is that drives them.
Yeah, he was a very special player, and yeah, granted, you know, Phillies, they're having a good time right now up there, though. You know, coming off the Eagles and Villanova, and the Phillies are out pretty good to start the year.
2-2 on Martinez.
Even the Sixers, I mean, they've been pretty awesome too here at the end of the season, and so I think Philly's healed as a city, a sports city.
Cubs trail 2-1. 7th inning. Edwards trying to strike out the side. Cold night.
I mean, it's not bad right here. I got to tell you,
It's
as a
not
guest,
bad.
you know, I know
Not
you
bad.
guys are up here all night, most of the late afternoon, but no wind really to speak of.
Well, with what we've had lately, this is balmy. 3-2 to Martinez. He just struck out the side. Bobby D coming up with the St. Xavier University 7th inning stretch. Here it comes.
Tonight's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, former Cub Gold Glove outfielder Bobby Dernier.
Okay, Cub fans, let me hear you good and loud. I know you're cold. Shake it off and let's sing. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Now you know what to do. Let's get some runs.
Join Sierra Santos and Luke Stockmeyer on Facebook Live weeknights at 5 for The Rush, presented by GMC. Maybe Sierra Leone will join them one night. Jorden Hicks.
Yeah,
look at that.
Yeah, this kid is creating a lot of buzz. 21 years of age, pitched an A-ball last year. He's got the highest average fastball velocity in the game.
Cubs trail by 1 here in the 7th inning.
He's averaging just under 99 miles per hour with his fastball, so of course he goes slider to start Bryant here.
He's from Houston, Texas. 6'2", 185. Big leg kick, and that ball drilled out into right center, and it's caught by Pham on the slide and grab.
Maybe not caught quite as squarely as we thought, but also the cold air is just going to knock that ball down. Pretty good swing there by Bryant. And makes the adjustment, puts this away for out number 1. Mike Matheny with a real show of confidence here in his young right-hander, trusting him with a 1-run lead in the 7th against Bryant, Rizzo, and Contreras.
Now this kid would have been born after Nolan Ryan finished his big league career, right? But
yeah, you were
the
born in
leg kick is
96.
slightly reminiscent, isn't it?
Yeah, let's see what. How big is he? Doesn't look. Nolan was about 6'2".
6'2", yeah.
Nolan's was kind of more gradual, if that makes
Right.
any sense, kind of a slower delivery. The high leg kick for sure.
How high he gets that knee. .101. And it's 1-2. Molina wants a slider here. And it's hit hard on the ground, but right to Martinez, who will take it to the bag. Rizzo in his return from the DL 0 for 2 with 2 reaches. So they'll try to rally with 2 outs. It's Contreras. It's Pedro Strop up in the Cubs bullpen. Foul tip. 1-1.
Hicks was drafted in 2015, started pitching professionally in 16, used as a starter throughout his time in the minor leagues. That may ultimately be the plan with him, but right now they're just taking that big arm, using him out of the bullpen. As I mentioned, he has not pitched above A ball until this year, straight to the big leagues. From Peoria and Palm Beach last season to St. Louis.
Still 1-2.
He was a third-round pick, and I always marvel, how can a kid that throws 102 miles an hour be a third-round pick? I guess that speaks to how many great arms there are in the game coming into the game.
Fly ball center field. Just not carrying the night, and Pham makes the catch. 7 consecutive Cub batters have been retired, and all 6 their bullpen has faced so far. In the 7th inning.
Yeah, powerful stuff. That last one was supposed to be more of a front door cutting fastball, but he just turned it loose and got another swing and miss. Edwards dominating, and now he passes the baton to Pedro Strop, who's working for the 8th time. Still an ERA of 0 for Pedro, 6 2/3. He's allowed 5 hits, a walk, and 7 punch-outs.
He has done some great work as a Chicago Cub. And he faces Molina to start the Cardinal 8th. The Cardinals cashed in back-to-back walks in the 3rd inning to take the lead. The Cubs got an unearned run in the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss. It was a Russell infield hit. He went to second on a throwing error on that same play, and then Jason Hayward knocked him in. Swings and misses on a pitch in the dirt. Contreras took a little something off that throw.
Yeah, I think he's probably been told to back off a little bit. He sailed that one into right field the other day. Now, fortunately, in that instance, there was a base runner in the lane that was called out. So
I was clapping, looking at the replay. So thank you, Wilson. Greg Garcia fouls upstairs. Paid crowd 35,103. A very cold night. We're about a mile off the lake.
13 strikeouts for Cub pitching here tonight. Strop in year 2 of a 2-year deal he signed last spring. There's also a club option for next year. Pitching at 32 years of age.
309th Cub appearance, 2.65 ERA as a Cub. When you look at the volume of work for Pedro, one of the more dependable, one of the late relievers in recent Cubs history. And he's a guy, you know, he's a little bit like an offensive lineman, right? You only remember a missed assignment.
Right.
And when you look at the numbers at the end of the year and you go, right? Sub-3 ERA. Tons of strikeouts, not a lot of hits. 2 down.
The Cubs have a new ticket purchase opportunity to expand access for fans interested in buying Cubs tickets at an affordable price. 60 tickets located in the lower level terrace for just $10 are available for every regular season home game. Fans can register online for the opportunity to purchase up to 4 tickets. Registration opens 48 hours before the game, closes 24 hours prior to scheduled first pitch. Cubs.com/1060 tickets. Yeah, 69 appearances for Pedro last year, 2.83 ERA. He's had a sub-3 ERA every year he's been in a Cub uniform.
And I'd say a vast majority of his appearances have been either with a lead late or within a run or 2.
Yeah,
right? He's not been a mop-up guy at all as a Cub.
Yeah, he's not the closer, but he's a high leverage guy. He's late innings, tight ball games.
A quick pitch here on a drive deep left field, and it's going to go for DeYoung. After he had struck out 3 times. That might be the first time I can remember a quick pitch from Strop and he got hurt on it.
Yeah, and he almost always throws his slider with the quick pitch. This time it was a high fastball. Either that or it was a slider that backed up on him, and that might have been the difference. You see how badly he missed his spot, but it's usually the element of surprise that really pays off for him.
First homer he's allowed, first run he's been charged with this year. And now it is Harrison Bader to pinch hit.
Yeah, so that was a heater. When you use that quick pitch, a lot of times you sacrifice location, but as you said, rarely does he get hurt.
Swing and a miss on the slider. Cardinals started the night, as we mentioned off the top, with 24 home runs within a couple of the major league leads. So they've hit 25 now in 17 games.
They're connected in 7 consecutive ball games now.
2-2 on the way. Did he go? No. And it's 3-2. Looks like Greg Holland might get the bottom of this inning. It'll be a tough play, and Bryant will not even make a throw. Swinging bunt single. For Bader. Reds beat the Brewers last night. But Milwaukee engineered a 2-0 shutout this evening. Junior Guerra got a no decision. He went into the 6th, gave up only 1 hit. Dan Jennings got the win in relief for Milwaukee. Eric Thames with the game-winning 2-run homer in the bottom of the 6th.
Thames having another big April, especially with the long ball.
And he's hit 6 now. So that gets Milwaukee back to 500 at 9-9, and the Reds dropped to 3-14. Are we calling that a mound visit? No, he did. So Baez to the mound, they do count that as a visit. And it's 3-0 on Fowler. He walked him. So all this happening with 2 outs, and now here comes Jim Hickey. The Cubs will be down to 2 mound visits. Chatwood, Cishek, Edwards, Strop for the Cubs. Cardinals have used Wainwright, Leone, Hicks. And probably Greg Holland is up next.
2 quick outs to start this inning, and then DeYoung hit the home run on the fastball on the quick pitch, followed by that swinging bunt. So you could see where that would get Strop a little bit out of sorts, and Hickey out there just to try to rein things back in after the Fowler walk.
Pham fouls out of play.
Sometimes it's just a matter of kind of pushing a pitcher's mindset in a different direction. Things start to go south for you out there. You start to think about what you shouldn't be doing. Don't do this, don't hang this, don't walk this guy. And the pitching coach comes out there with a do message. Do this. Good fastball down and away to get him started. Finishing him with a slider.
Strike called. Throw to second is late. Bounce to third, knocked down by Bryant, and I'd say fortunately that ball hit the umpire. I'm not sure Bader would have tried to score, but at least the ball was kept on the infield.
Yeah, you just could tell off the bat that that was going to be a bit of a funky play for Chris. Trying to find a good hop here on the backhand side.
Joe will play the matchup here. He'll get Dunsing to face Carpenter with the bases loaded here in the 8th inning. And again, this thing all started with 2 outs. Here comes the lefty. It's 3-1 St. Louis.
Pinstripe baby cap and Rookie of the Year Cubs onesie. Visit Cubs.com/kids for more information. Ryan Dunsing for the 9th time. Picked up a win along the way. ERA sits at 0. Left-handed batters 0 for 11 so far against him this year.
Bases loaded, and the pitch is a strike. One clarification with the new mound visit rule: when you come out to take a pitcher out of the game, that does not count as a mound visit. Also, if a pinch hitter is announced and you make a mound visit, that also doesn't count. Same rules apply if a pitching coach or manager comes out. He can only do it once without taking out a pitcher in that inning, or that pitcher, I should say. 1 ball, 1 strike. DeYoung homered with 2 outs. Bader with a pinch hit infield hit. Fowler walked. And then Pham with an infield single. That was against Strop. Dunsing now trying to get out of it. And that's a base hit. 2 runs will score. A little bobble by Happ. And on the play, Pham will advance to third. It's now 5-1. Should be a 2-run single. They may give Happ an error. Not sure if Pham was going to advance either way.
Second and third RBIs on the night for Carpenter. It looked like he came after the misplay. So he's breaking it down, reading the play, sees it down, and then off he goes. So likely an error charge to Ian there. Those runs charged to Pedro Strop.
No error given at this point. 1-0 on Ozuna. 2 balls, no strikes. So that makes life a little more comfortable for Mike Matheny in terms of his bullpen here these final 2 innings. In the hole, Russell's throw to second. Good stretch by Baez. Looked like Addison had a little trouble getting a grip on it. Cardinals add to their lead with a 3 spot here in the 8th and now lead 5-1. Garcia over to second base, and here is Greg Holland. Something was going on with Tommy Pham. They had one of their athletic trainers out there with Mike Matheny. And Schwarber checks his swing. And a foul strike.
So you assume that Holland ultimately will move into the closer's role with the Cardinals. Something he's done very well for a number of years now. He's been a little shaky so far in 3 appearances since joining the Cardinals.
And walks have been a problem for him. They signed on March 31st. That was after opening day. He's got 5 walks, 2 1/3. Two and one. Hefty home run leaderboard. Baez hit all 4 of his over the course of 2 days last week to start this homestand. Swing and a miss.
Holland's not a hard thrower. Relies on deception, a good slider, and a curveball. Saved 41 games for the Rockies last year.
Bounce that pitch, 3-2. Well, the Cubs came back on Saturday. They were down 10-5 in the 8th inning. And they won the game 14-10. Is it too much to ask to put up a 5 or 6 spot here tonight?
Gosh, no. It's,
I don't want to get too greedy, but
always good to ask.
It was a good start.
Second reach for Schwarber tonight. He has walked his last 2 times up. Holland's very first appearance this year, in a third of an inning against the Brewers, he walked 4.
I have to say, typically when Baez points to first base, it's a no swing. So maybe there's a method to it.
The self-check.
I love the batter appeal on the check swing.
Yeah, he and Luis Valbuena.
He started it all. There's a blast deep into the night and a 2-run homer for Baez. 5-3.
Not too much to ask. More late game heroics from Baez. He delivered the key hit the other day to clear the bases. This time a long ball and no doubter. Low fastball hammered 420 plus feet. Here's your Ford home run replay. Drifting down and into his power. Wow. Third hit of the night for Baez. Double single and now this monster home run.
He's doubled, singled, and homered tonight. And the out he made was a deep fly out to the warning track in right. The man is locked in. Still nobody out.
I would suspect there's some urgency out in the Cardinal bullpen right now.
Guessing StatCast liked it. Yeah, I'd say so. 422 feet and 111 plus off the bat. Two and one. Swing and a miss. So how long a leash will Mike Matheny have here on Greg Holland? Lyons the lefty, Norris the righty.
I would think he's one batter at a time right now. I think if Russell reaches, he's done.
Well, it's 3-2.
This crowd stirred up.
Jason Hayward on deck. Patrick Corbin no hitting the Giants tonight through 6.
He flirted with a no-hitter once already this year.
Nothing tied. Johnny Cueto off the DL to make that start, pitching well tonight. He walked him.
That was an easy take for Russell, too. Not even close.
Walk, homer, walk. As the Cubs looking for some more 8th inning magic. And here is Hayward.
No sign yet of Matheny coming out of the Cardinal dugout. So that leash for Holland a little longer than, at least longer than I thought. No, maybe not. Chat to buy some time, perhaps.
He wants Tyler Lyons. Holland failing to record an out. Cubs have the tying run at the plate with nobody out in the 8th when we come back. Career high 50 appearances last year, and making his 10th so far this year.
Mike Matheny's called his name frequently. He's the only left-hander out there in the Cardinal bullpen.
I guess that's good and bad if you're Tyler Lyons, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get called a lot, but you just hope not too much for your liking. Hayward will face him with Russell at first. Baez with a 2-run homer to make it a 2-run game after the Cardinals stretched their lead to 4. And he pulls it in the air, foul to right.
Line's below average velocity. There's a lot of sliders. Giving up runs in 3 of his 9 appearances so far this year, including his last 2 in Cincinnati.
Swing and a miss. It's got a fun name backwards in Harry Carey parlance. Snoil Relit. Oh, 2. Albert Almora Jr. turned 24 yesterday, is on deck.
Playing for 2 in the middle. Hayward's got some room on that right side of the infield if he could pull this ball.
There goes Russell. Popped up behind the plate. Molina does not have a play. Russell would have been able to get back in time. This is a very small nitpick, but I don't believe they were charged with a mound visit when Molina in the infield went to the mound before Matheny came out. And it sure feels like that should have counted as one.
Yeah, if you send the catcher out there to talk, to buy time, that seems to me that's why the rule's in place.
Long pause by Lyons in the pitch. This one will stay in play. Foul ground. It's caught by Martinez. Here comes Almora, the day after he turned 24 years old. He will not face Lyons. Matheny's going to make another change. Looks like it'll be Bud Norris. We'll be right back in the 8th. Albert Almora Jr. had been announced, but he will not take the at bat. It'll be Tommy LaStella.
Mentioned Norris earlier, getting some save opportunities for the Cardinals. He has picked up 3 saves, and what really gets your attention are those strikeouts. 14 punch-outs against 1 walk in 7 2/3 innings for the veteran right-hander. Fastballs and sliders. Started his career with the Astros back in '09. He'd been a starter for most of his career, last 3 or 4 years. Tilting more towards the bullpen. Well traveled, 6 different teams since 2015.
So faces Tommy LaStella. And a fastball right down the middle.
This has a very quick pickoff move.
Runner is Russell at first. Here's the pitch. Called strike 2.
Seems like a guy named Bud would be a good fit in St. Louis.
For sure. His 0-2 is line foul to left out of play.
Really aggressive with the fastball. One after another right through the heart of the strike zone.
Something Adam Wainwright was not. He worked the edges in this game tonight. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 unearned run for the veteran right-hander. Tyler Chatwood gave up 2 runs in 4 2/3. The other pitchers of record, and a big strikeout. Norris gets LaStella.
Not an easy man to strike out, but good heaters early and then tight slider. LaStella couldn't get a piece. A costly at bat there, right? You burn Almora, and Tommy, your best pinch hitter, gets punched out. The only man left on the bench now is Zobrist, and he was scratched from the lineup with a stiff back.
Up in the air to center. Pham back now in a couple of steps, and the Cubs settle for 2. Javier Baez parked one into the bleachers in left center. It's 5-3 St. Louis as we go to the 9th inning.
$0.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today.
That changes now as Chris Bryant is in the outfield and right. Jason Hayward now playing center. Tommy LaStella plays third.
Brandon Morrow now plays pitcher. He's doing it for the 6th time.
Not to play I told you so, but we had the conversation about Bryant, right? Would he play in the outfield this year? I'm not sure he'll hit the over, but I theorized he'd play a little more outfield than we thought at the time.
Yeah, he's ready, willing, and able, right?
He likes to move around.
You gotta have that flexibility now, carrying extra bullpen guys on a short bench.
Well, I think that, and we've talked about it before, that one clubbed out to Hayward for an out. There were some people a couple years ago asked, would that hurt his MVP candidacy? And I said, quite the opposite.
Yeah, the thinking being that a young player, if you move him around, it's going to affect his hitting. And that's a theory, but you got to. That's one of those deals. Will prove it to me. Show me how it's adversely affecting the player.
Well, yeah, that, and I also think the idea that an MVP, kind of the template, is an everyday player at one defensive position, whereas Bryant is a third baseman by trade, but we've seen him at first, we've seen him in the corner outfield spots, we've seen him very briefly at shortstop in a pinch.
Yeah, if he moved around so much that you would start to consider him a utility player, then it might hurt his, status in the eyes of some MVP voters. But that will never be the case. And I don't know why that would be, right? Because you can make a case for Ben Zobrist a few years back in Tampa. He had a couple of years moving around where probably should have been considered for an MVP award, or at least finish higher in the balloting than he did.
2-2 the count on Molina. It has not gone well for Shohei Ohtani tonight. In fact, he only went 2 innings on 66 pitches against the Red Sox. Mookie Betts took him deep. Mookie Betts has homered twice tonight, and it's 8-0 Red Sox in the 3rd inning at the Angels. Russell's got time. Molina, maybe the slowest runner in the league. My knees usually hurt, but they hurt even more watching Yadier Molina. A lot of crouching.
He's probably still the fastest Molina.
I would agree with you there. Garcia started the game at third. He's now playing second. And he fouls.
This is lively stuff that Brandon Morrow's featuring. There's some jump on that heater.
Just trying to keep the Cardinals right where they are. Give the Cubs a chance, down 2 in the bottom of the 9th.
He is a good contact man, tough guy to finish off. Short, quick stroke. Patrick Corbin still has his no-no through 7. How about Bartolo Colon flirting with a perfect game the other night? Throwing one fastball after another.
Against the Astros.
Yeah, what a great lesson for a young pitcher to watch him work 89 to 92, just movement and location.
Looked like a pretty good pitch. No cigar. 1-2. So a picture online of Bob Melvin, the A's manager and coaching staff. They're wearing the white caps. Remember the A's back in the late 60s, early 70s? Their staff wore different caps than the players. Pretty cool. Slicing down the left field line, and it's out of play. The A's on free ticket night are leading the White Sox 7-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Still 2-2 on Greg Garcia.
He's a tough at bat. You hear the story about Blaine Boyer?
Yeah, they had a bus issue, right? The driver got
in Toronto. Ice
injured.
flew off the bus in front of them and shattered the windshield and cut the bus driver's face. And apparently Boyer jumped up there and helped drive the bus.
That's some solid work.
Yeah.
Blue Jays swept their doubleheader against Kansas City, 11-3, and then 5-4 in 10. So Blaine Boyer's Royals are 3-12. The Blue Jays are 11-5, off to a surprising start. You were on them a little bit in spring training. They might be a little
they seem
better
like
than
one of those
people
clubs
thought.
that could go either way. Yeah. The young pitching would hold up.
Tenth pitch of the at bat, and we'll see at least 11 here.
Yeah, whoever wins this battle will have earned it. This is good stuff here. Morrow working hard to try to finish off Garcia, and Garcia just hanging, fighting off a lot of tough pitches. Time for the old two-seam runner. Just throw it down and away. Go ahead. Give me a ground ball to second base, please. Needed to be on the plate. That was an outstanding plate appearance by Garcia.
Paul DeYoung. Insurance homer in the 8th after 3 strikeouts. 97, and he got the call. 0-1. Indians 6, Twins 1 the final in Puerto Rico. Again, Francisco Lindor hit a home run. Called strike 3. So Morrow gets out of the 9th, stranding a man. And coming up for the Cubs, it'll be the top of their order. At least 2, 3, 4. Bryant, Rizzo, and Contreras trailing by 2. Right-hander Luke Weaver off to a 2-0 start. John Lester looking for his second win, and will be the 4th start for each. Weather forecast a little iffy. Hopefully we get it in.
Weaver, a young, talented right-hander. It's an all right-handed starting rotation for the Cardinals these days.
Strike called on Chris Bryant. Bud Norris got out of that 8th inning, striking out the pinch hitter LaStella and getting Happ on a fly to center. It could be a 5-out save if he can hold him here in the 9th. Right now the Cardinal bullpen is quiet. Cubs bats trying to change that. Swing and a miss as Bryant chased one on a slider. 1 down. Here's Anthony Rizzo. First game off the DL. 0 for 2. He's been on twice. Hit by a pitch in the first. He walked in the 3rd. Trying to get going. 3 for 30 with a home run so far.
Schwarber walked leading off the 8th. The only time tonight the Cubs have had the leadoff man reach base. So yes, they did have to squander some opportunities early in the game, but a lot of those opportunities came after 2 were out.
Pham into left center. So 2 away. The Cardinals are an out away from their 5th consecutive win, all on the road. And the Cubs an out away from dropping below 500. They have just been right around that 500 mark since we started the year. They've hit every mark. 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, etc. And sit at 7-7. I believe the no-hit bid is over.
Yeah, I think Brandon Belt.
Brandon Belt. Okay. You may have said that earlier. If so, I missed it.
No, I read it earlier and I forgot to say it.
Well, I couldn't read your mind either. Foul tip.
I was trying to convey that to you.
1-1. Albert Pujols, by the way, is nearing a milestone. He's 11 hits away from 3,000. So we'll keep an eye on that here over the next couple weeks. Bounced foul to make it 1-2. This is the part of the order you'd like to see in this spot, but so far Norris has taken the wind out of the Cubs' sails. 2 outs and a 1-2 count on Contreras. And the Cubs are alive, and the tying run will come up. Contreras with a 2-out hit to get Schwarber to the plate.
Norris gave up a home run in his last outing, pitched the 9th inning. He got the save in Cincinnati, but gave up a long ball to Adam Duvall. Held on for a 3-2 win.
They'll tell Martinez to play behind the runner Contreras at first. His run doesn't mean anything, and especially with a left-handed pull hitter at the plate. Well, no, Martinez still going to play behind him, but closer to the bag. Right on the line.
Yeah, he almost standing in foul territory. Yeah, and the only reason to really hold him close at all here is if you have a situation where your only option is to get a forced play at second base, but it's highly unlikely with Schwarber the hitter.
A good pass at that high heat. 0-2 on Schwarber. (5-3) Cardinals. First game of a 19-game season series. Long look by Norris.
You come into this at bat if you're Kyle Schwarber with your club down 2 runs and you're obviously a big time power threat looking to do damage. Now with a couple of strikes, you're just hoping to keep the line moving. Baez has been the man of the match on deck.
Outside. 2-2 on Schwarber. Wind blowing in, but not very hard. On this cold night. 2-2 pitch down the left field line, out of play.
Spoiled a pretty good one. Backdoor slider.
They needed 3 relievers to get through the 8th. And Norris now trying to pick up a 5-out save. And he does. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. And the Cardinals grab game 1.
Well, Mike Matheny's got to feel awfully good about that. His club did not have much success here last year. As a matter of fact, won just 1 ball game at Wrigley last year.
So they take the opener. 5-3 the final, and the toast of the game is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. And Matt Carpenter knocking in 3, double in the 3rd, 2-run single in the 8th to add some much needed insurance. Binny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Javier Baez, big night for the Cubs, double, single, and a 2-run homer. That'll wrap up our game coverage for JD, for Kelly, our entire NBC Sports Chicago crew here at Wrigley Field. Len Casper inviting you to watch the Cubs and the Rockies on Saturday. Pregame coverage starts at 6:30 from Denver. Up next, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois postgame live. Final score once again, Cardinals 5, Cubs 3.